Hey guys, MGH here and welcome to a special video dedicated to the Champions League draw that went on today. It's that time of year again where all of the best teams around the world are put into a pot and they have their futures decided for the season ahead. And what a draw we had today. So if you've already seen the draw, obviously you might want to skip in until I start talking about the certain groups. But for those of you who've missed it, I'm going to be revealing them one by one, so it's a bit more exciting, I guess. So basically, guys, there are 8 groups. We've got Group A to H. Each team from each league cannot be placed together, so you will not see 2 English teams in the same group, for example. And you have top seeds and lower seeds. It's very easy to understand, and you will just see them as we go through. So we're going to kick off with Group A. Just a reminder that there are 4 English clubs in these 4 seeds, including Liverpool, Manchester City, Arsenal and Chelsea. There are some huge clubs, including Bayern, PSG, Real Madrid, Barcelona, Atletico Madrid, Roma, Juventus. There's some really big boys out there. So let's get cracking with Group A. Who are we going to have? Boom! We have Atletico Madrid, Juventus, Olympiacos and Malmo from Sweden. That's an interesting one, isn't it? That is a very, very good group. You can basically pick out the 2 strong teams that are most likely to progress. That would obviously be Atletico Madrid and Juventus. But I tell you what, Olympiacos, they are not a bad side. Malmo, I think, will struggle. They will, but still, it's cool to see them in the competition. It should be interesting to see how they get on. But that is Group A. I'm going to be discussing them in further details after the reveal of all the other groups. Let's go into Group B now. Boom! We have Real Madrid, Basel, Liverpool, and Ludogorets. I'm not sure how you pronounce that properly, but they went through in amazing fashion. I really do recommend you check out the highlights of their qualifying games. Very interesting indeed. But the big one there, Real Madrid versus Liverpool. Liverpool are both unlucky and lucky at the same time. That is a very good draw for them because although Real Madrid are an incredibly strong side, even if they lose both games against Real Madrid, they're more than likely to progress because Basel, they should be able to beat them, and Ludogorets, they should be able to beat them as well. So well done to Real Madrid and Liverpool for qualifying. Nah, you can't do that. Things can happen. You never know. Real Madrid might get knocked out. You absolutely have no idea. But if I was a Liverpool fan, I would be very happy with that draw. One, you've got a massive game against Real Madrid, which is, that's going to sell out. It's going to be such a spectacle. And the other 2 games, pretty winnable. Let's go into Group C now. Boom! We have Benfica, Zenit, Leverkusen and Monaco. 4 very competitive sides, not a weak team in it. Group C for me is possibly going to be one of the most underrated groups to watch. There will be some very, very tight matches. I can see Benfica, Zenit, Leverkusen and Monaco all really battling each other to go through. So that should be one to watch. Now let's go to Group D, which is often called Group of Death. Let's see who's in it. Boom! Arsenal, Dortmund, Galatasaray and Anderlecht. So obviously I'm an Arsenal supporter. We've had Dortmund 3 times in the last 4 years, which is absolutely mental. Galatasaray, very good side from Turkey, and Anderlecht from Belgium. So that is looking like a very tasty group, very difficult for Arsenal, but I'll be talking about that more in detail later on. Let's just get straight into Group E now. Boom! We have Bayern, Man City, Moskva or CSKA, and Roma. Now that, for me, is a tough group. Manchester City, oh wow, they must be so disappointed with that. But then again, so will Roma. Roma would have really fancied their chances to do well, having got back in the competition now. But they've actually been put into one of the toughest groups with Bayern and Man City there. And you know what? CSKA are no pushover, so they'll be doing all right there as well. I'm also going to do my predictions at the end as well, so you can look forward to that. Let's have a look at Group F here. What's it going to be? Barcelona, PSG, Ajax and Apoel. Now that was going to be a very interesting group because as the teams were being pulled out, it could have been Malmo in Group F. And you know what that would have been? That would have been Ibrahimovic going back to 3 of his older clubs, Barcelona, Ajax and Malmo, where he actually was born in Sweden. So that would have been a really interesting group. But I tell you what, Ajax, they've got their work cut out as well, haven't they? And Apoel obviously have no chance whatsoever, let's be honest. For me, Barcelona and PSG, that'll be one of the best games in the competition, in the group stages at least. Let's look at Group G here. Chelsea, Schalke, Sporting and Maribor. again, I don't want to be rude, but for me, again, Chelsea have been let off there with another relatively easy group. I'm not saying it's easy, but every single year, as an Arsenal supporter, it pains me because we seem to get these tough groups and everyone else gets it easy. But this year is a bit different. Man City definitely have the hardest group, although H is just about to pop up, even though we've had all the English teams up already. But Chelsea's group, they should be more than favourites for me to go through Group G. And then the last group, we have Porto, Shakhtar Donetsk, Athletic, and Bate. I've never actually heard of Bate before last night. Interesting. Shakhtar Donetsk should do well in that group, but Porto and Athletic Bilbao for me are the favourites to go through. So that's all the groups, guys. We've got some very, very tasty matches coming up in September. And for me, it's between Group E and D for the toughest teams because, the more I look at it, Group E is definitely the hardest group. But for Arsenal, I think Group D could be a struggle. I know Dortmund away will be a really tough game, and at home, to be honest. But Galatasaray, I really wanted to avoid them. Anderlecht, they are no pushover. They've got a very powerful team. But we should be able to beat them. In terms of, Liverpool, I reckon they can do something. I've got just some feeling that Real Madrid are not going to turn up this year. Don't ask me why. I have a feeling. Sometimes I get these, crazy predictions in my head or whatever. I've just got a small feeling that maybe that Real Madrid will actually get beaten by Liverpool. Who knows? Man City will struggle, there's no doubt about it, but I think they'll still probably progress in that group with Bayern. And Chelsea should beat Schalke, Sporting and Maribor with no problem. Schalke and Sporting, they're pretty decent sides. Schalke more so, I would say, than Sporting. Obviously, I'm a bit biased being a Schalke fan in a way because I've been playing with them on career mode. But really, Chelsea should be favourites for that. The other underrated group for me has to be Group C, like I mentioned. That is definitely one to watch. 4 very good sides there. And I was happy to avoid Monaco. Let's just say that. Group D will be tasty. Group E will be very tasty. And so will F. I mean, Barcelona, Paris and Ajax, they will produce some great football there. And Group A with Atletico and Juventus, with Olympiacos in the background, could be a pretty sweet draw, guys. And definitely going to be an entertaining season in the group stages. And let's hope that in the next round, there will be even more tasty fixtures. So that's the video rounded up, guys. Let me know your thoughts in the comments. Tell me if your team or your favourite team, if they're in the competition, have been drawn well. Pretty interesting. It's going to be a long, long season for a lot of these English sides. And good luck to everyone involved. And I will see you guys in the next video.